charging just to make sure because the last stream was about 3 weeks ago and I really hadn't even opened the laptop since then. I wanted to make sure. Oh no, the title's the same as on Tuesday. Ah! When I got everything loaded up, I did not change the title. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. So, I'm assuming you've got sound and all that stuff now that I plugged in the headsets. Now, we do have Streamlabs set up as well. So, I'm hoping I will be able to hear all the things. Oh, you're back to being single. I'm sorry that didn't work out. I really am. Today, we are working on. Yes, we have sound. All right. And we have the proper title. Today, we're working on fried rice. It's been about 3 weeks since I did the first testing stream, and the stream itself went pretty good. We've made some adjustments, both with camera setting, and that is zoomed in. Notice the stove is zoomed in to the point that you can see, or not zoomed in, is focused, and you can actually see the pattern in the pan. It is focused. Also, my face cam went ahead and got off everything's lifted up, everything's adjusted. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit smoother. It looks so good. That's what we want to hear. Now, last night we had Chinese. And, it's really common. You have Chinese and maybe you've got leftover and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have the leftovers and we'll just, reheat it and eat it. And that's fine. There's not a problem with that. But sometimes you get the leftovers and maybe you're one of those people that doesn't like, we have leftovers. Maybe you're one of those people that doesn't like eating the same thing every day. Maybe you have ta-da. Now we had extra Chinese yesterday. We had extra Chinese. So this is like all combined up. We have a lot left over. Now, it doesn't really matter what your leftovers are. Obviously, you ordered them. You're happy with them. You like them. Fantastic, right? Whatever it is. Now, this started out for us as kind of an egg thing in the morning, like, okay, hey, we've got a bunch of veg and meat left. Let's chop this up and scramble eggs into it. And we actually had no rice left over that time. So it's not distracting as oh yeah, whoop, you can see my Wonder Woman flash. Okay. Well, you don't like baby corn, and maybe they put baby corn in your stuff. You want, so you don't use that. Now, if you don't have a lot of leftovers like we do here, and let me tell you, there's a lot of leftovers, and I'm going to do a mix of what we have, okay? I'm actually completely going to mix it up. This is broccoli beef, and I'm going to get a lot of the veggies out of there, and a lot of the meat out of there. Now, there's also, as you can see, there's a lot of sauce, and I am going to use some of that sauce. So for now, I'm going to set it aside, and we'll use some of that sauce later. There's really no reason for me to pile it on here right now. Now, if I had a bowl to the side where I had a smaller space, and I was going to chop it up and, put it into the side, great. And then you could go ahead and add your sauce right there. So, I am glad you have arrived, Ryu. So now this leftover has a lot of the same elements to it, but this is chicken. And we have some new veg here, some peas, and we have the beautiful, beautiful water chestnuts. So I have actually, I'm going to get a mix. I'm not so worried about the veg, but I'm going to get this. This is Hunan chicken. It's a little bit spicier. And I really like the mix because I love broccoli and beef. It's a wonderful dish all by itself. But it can be a little bit on the bland side. So I like having the Hunan chicken to pair with it, which is what we have on our treat stream, because it has a little bit of spice. So you get a little mix of just like straight up tasty, broccoli and beef, and then you get a little bit of spice when you're ready for it. And actually, the Hunan chicken tends to go the fastest. Now, I am making a bigger batch than I normally would if it was just like Pack and I having breakfast, now lunch, the next day. I am going to make a bigger batch because, one, it's lunch, and two, I want to show you guys. Now, we also got some fried rice, and for this particular one, you can see that it's already got some seasonings. You can feel free, use your fried rice. 3 hungry, absolutely. So you can use your fried rice, but honestly, I like to use like the plain white rice that's left over because, and maybe I'll use a little bit of the fried rice because we're already, going to be adding seasonings and stuff to it, and I find that the leftover regular rice, just a straight up white rice, is one of the things that we have left over the most. Now, I do lots of things with white rice, so it's not a problem. At the same time, I'm doing this personally with white rice to show you. Also, maybe you had leftover rice from dinner the night before or from 2 nights ago, and you're like, what am I going to do with this rice? Well, it's left over, it's dried out a bit, which means it's ready to absorb everything, and why not make fried rice out of it? So for me, I'm going to use the white rice as the example today to show that, hey, I got leftover rice, whatever. It doesn't have to already be seasoned. Do what you like, obviously. Do what makes you happy. But for me, I think it's just fine to use a regular rice. Now, kind of like I did in the last cooking stream, I'm just going to run a rough chop over everything. There's no reason for you to have to do this if you want like great big, chunks in there. Personally, I don't think it's really part of the fried rice that's so good is the fact that your rice has other, veg in it and other seasonings in it. And you know what? If you don't have Chinese, like I said for that example earlier, say you've got leftover rice from a prior meal and you want to just use it for something or turn it into a full dinner and not just like, okay, well, I'm going to maybe warm it up and make buttered rice on the side. Grab whatever vegetables you have, canned, frozen. I personally think that, fresh or frozen works the best. But if you do canned, make sure that instead of having the veg all in there initially, make sure that's something that you add more towards the end because you don't want it to just become a mushy mess. And unfortunately, that was cut really fine. Unfortunately, if you go straight from can early on, like I'm going to throw these in early on, you're going to run into a problem when everything is just sort of half mashed and and it's just an issue. So to me, fried rice should be incorporated. Chop up your veg, chop up your meats. And a lot of times fried rice doesn't have any meats at all. You have a can of mixed veg, great. You don't have any frozen mixed veg. I usually have frozen mixed veg in the freezer just in general. But say you don't have anything, but you've got, hey, I've got some zucchini that my great Aunt Hilda gave to me, and I've got a ton of it. Chop that up. Whatever veg you have, whatever you like is great. Not a big veggie fan in your house? Sometimes mixing it in with this is, obviously it's not being hidden, but you might have a better chance of them eating it that way. You can even just simply open, a can of veg, and like I said, throw it in at the end. So I want you guys to not be concerned with making it exactly like this, or oh my gosh, I don't have Chinese leftovers, but it really sounds good. You don't have to have all of this, okay? And the extra ingredients that I'm going to add are really, really simple. Okay, so, ta-da! I have a great big pile of cut veg and meat. Now, for me personally, again,
excellent.
Jiminy crickets! Oh my gosh. Holy Hannah. I put that on here and I didn't really get a chance to adjust any of it. And that is so loud. But, you know, yay. Streamlabs worked. Oh my goodness. Galen, I'm so glad to see you back. Congratulations on your 17-month anniversary. I'm sorry. I'm okay, honey. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had a rough time. We are doing a cooking stream. Hopefully you can, take a deep breath and have some fun. What? You want a taste? No? Do you want a little piece of broccoli? It's a small piece. Yummy in your tummy. She's like, no. So, like I said, do whatever you like, whatever you want to do. I'm going to step over here and actually I might as well dump it in there because my hand, I was going to wash up, but I have one really grody hand. So let's switcheroo. I am glad you are doing better. Honest to goodness. Whoop. What? You want your broccoli? No? You decided you want it? Nope. Okay. I have a grandbaby here. I have Midlet here. You're going to have your animals or your kids or relatives in your house, and you're going to get distracted. This is a kitchen. What? You want that piece of broccoli? Ready? Open your mouth. Ah! You want to hold it? Okay. My broccoli. Food? Well, yeah, I'm not. Of course, I'm sorry. I've got you for chat. Yeah. I'm going to move this over here. Yeah, I'm over here. Ready? Stay back. I'm cooking. Yeah, I'm cooking. You want broccoli? Okay, let me put this down. Excuse me. Okay. Here is a piece of broccoli. Perfect for you. I will leave it right there, and if you want it, you can get it, okay? Now, I've got the heat on, and the heat is not very high. Well, I guess it's a medium high, okay? It's a medium high heat. And really, I just want that to start warming up. Yeah, the grandbaby's wandering. You'll probably see Calypso run through. I honest to goodness, I just want this to come to temperature before I throw in rice. And I'm actually going to use like a goodly portion of this partial rice. And I've got like a teeny weeny bit here that I'm going to dump out first. Now I just want the vegetables to kind of start. I just want them to get going, warm up a bit. So as we toss everything else in, and again, I'm at home. I did just reach in there and grab a handful of rice. It's okay. I'm going to dump this whole one in there. So there's just over, like what's that, a pint in here. And you know what? I like a lot. Yeah, I'm good with that. Personally, I like a lot of meat and veg. And if we've done this, I've made fried rice even with a like a fried product. Like maybe you did fried you had sweet and sour and you got some fried chicken left. Puns are allowed. Please safe for work only. It doesn't matter what the stream is. Behave. You can't even do it with that. Just make sure that you have. It's not like a soggy outside. If it's been fried and it's soggy on the outside, that's not going to be good at all. Let me rinse out. All right, do a quick wash. See what the heck is going on with the fussing I hear. What happened? Did you hit your head? How'd you hit your head? Okay. Mwah. Sit right there. Did you fall? Yeah, it's a pretty good bump. Mwah. Did you see that microphone right there? It looks funny, huh? Whoop. Yeah. All right, Calypso, settle down. You better now. Remember, if you run and play, you might get hurt. It's okay. All right. We're sizzling away. Now, I personally don't really put oil in here until a little bit later. Like, I'm not trying to fry it up. And let me say very clearly, I have not been taught how to make proper fried rice. Okay, what do you want? You want some candy? Well, why don't we wait till after lunch? I've not been taught this. This isn't from a recipe. This is just, hey, this is how I do fried rice, okay? And I think it's really, really easy, and so I want that to be accessible to you guys. Okay. I personally will put a bit of oil in, but I want it to be a little bit incorporated first. Ooh, I'm cooking. Do you want to run? No, you have a bowl? What do you want in the bowl? Would you like a little bit of trail mix to snack on? Okay, let me get you a little bit of trail mix to snack on. What I'm going to put in here. Woo! You got it? Okay, you're okay. What I'm going to put in here are very simple things. There you go, trail mix. Are very simple things. Now, these are things that I always have in my cabinets. You may not. Who is Calypso? Yoshi. Calypso is our border collie dog, and the little child is my grandbaby. She's almost 3. The proper way is whatever ends up being tasty. I'm with you. For this, I recommend that you have sesame oil and chili oil. Now you can have really hot sriracha, if you want to replace instead, or even add 2 if you're just one of those people that really wants more heat. And again, that's not a proper technique. Let me give this another stir. But you're going to want to have, you really need those flavors. Okay, this is warming up nicely. I don't want it to start sticking. I am going to go ahead and add just a bit of, whoops, I wasn't supposed to touch that camera. Oh no, the camera has been bumped. Okay. The cabinet bumped the camera. That particular camera we had an issue with. Okay. Now, again, I know that if this was more traditional, there would be, or quote-unquote traditional, there would be a lot of things done different. I'm just trying to make sure that you know food is accessible to you. Making food on your own that maybe seems, I know I touched the camera. The last thing Pac said is, don't touch the camera, because it was being difficult. I want it to be accessible to you guys, and like you think of, I'm going to make fried rice, and that may terrify you. But I want to try to show you that it's not hard, and you can often just do it with what you have left over. Now, I'm not big on, really frying it up. I do have a wok, and sometimes I use the wok. I'm not big on really frying it up and, a bit of oil and throwing that in, piping hot. I just want to make sure nothing sticks. Everything can move around. And honest to goodness, it's easy. Okay. I am not adding salt because there's already salt in the mix, and we're going to be adding some soy sauce, which I did not grab. Okay. Basic soy sauce, yes? If you have access to a dark soy, it's awesome. You don't need as much, and it has a lot less of a like salt flavor, but it's really concentrated soy. So I am going to add a bit of soy sauce. And with the soy sauce, again, it's kind of to your taste. I'm looking to make sure that it's there. It's lightly coated everywhere because I know there's plenty of that already, but we're using the straight up rice. Remember that. I'm going with the straight white rice. Now, hopefully you can see what I'm about to do. I told you earlier that there's already some really good sauce in the pan that the leftovers came. I'm just going to utilize some of that. Now, if we were like finishing this off, I would drop it all in there. But because
Excellent.
yeah, I really have to adjust those sounds. Is it super loud for you, or am I the only one being attacked? Gamcool! Congratulations on your 11-month Twitch anniversary. What do you call Packer the child? A foster. A foster. I don't get it. Okay. And I'm doing it from both. So that was the Hunan chicken. And this is the broccoli beef. And there's not as much sauce in there, so I'm not really going to stress over it. Whoops, we got some extra meat in there. No problem. Scubble, just for you, I am removing the mini. Just for you, Scubble, I am removing the baby corn. Dur as in a derp. Oh, father. Gotcha, I think. The dark is more concentrated. Yes. Yes. What's the difference between the dark and soy? Exactly. The dark soy sauce is a concentrated soy sauce, so you do have a stronger flavor. You have a much, much darker color. I will often come in here and just do a lighter dab. You do have to be careful because it is strong stuff. Alright, do you see how much darker that is? It looks like a it's already starting to pick up some color. It looks like a full-fledged, fried rice. This particular one I have is mushroom flavored. Doesn't have to be mushroom flavored. You can get whatever you like. Now, we here in New York, we have got access to so many different markets that I've got choices galore. Now, you can see as I spread it out, that extra dark place right there, that's the dark soy. That is absolutely the dark soy. And if you are cooking up some chicken and you're going to be serving it chicken or I say chicken because that really stains it the most. And you've got somebody that's maybe on a strong salt restriction, you can use a bit of the dark. You're going to get lots of good color, and you definitely are less sodium on it. But again, a little bit goes a long way. Another good thing that you can do, and by the way, I do have this on like a medium-high heat. I'm just double-checking that I left it on a medium-high heat. Now, do you see how this is starting to look fried ricey? You see the color that we've got? It's beautiful. Now, one thing just to be sure that you know, keep moving it around. If you just leave it completely stopped in one place, you're going to have a problem. Now, there's one more thing I want to add, before we get serious with the rest of it. Okay, this is a rice wine vinegar. You can use mirin if you have mirin. I like to give a nice hit of rice wine vinegar because I like the acidity. We're adding a lot into this, and I like having a little bit of acidity to balance. out the dish. Now, don't worry, you're gonna smell the vinegar, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Now, I knew I was gonna make a bigger batch, so I did make sure to use a bit of a bigger pan than what we normally do. Like I said, we would normally, just for the two of us, wouldn't make quite this much. Now, you're gonna want to make a space for your eggs. All right, soy sauce, dark soy, rice wine vinegar. Ah, I touched it again. I touched it again. Is it okay? It's okay. It's okay. Just calm down, Pack. Don't have a heart attack. You can pour oil in here for your eggs. You can put butter in there for your eggs. I'm just gonna stick some no-stick spray on it. Okay. Now, I got out the hard-boiled eggs. I'm a derp. This is where we keep our hard-boiled eggs because we always have hard-boiled eggs on hand constantly. I grabbed the hard-boiled eggs. That was genius. Wow. I'm working on keeping count up with you guys, okay? So, hard-boiled eggs are not going to work in this case. I'm going to go ahead and give this another stir because I want it fried ricey, but I don't want to get it too dark. All right, let's go ahead and press that around now that I'm like, hey, if I crack this open, this is not going to work. Hi. You want more trail mix? Well, you have to wait. Wait until Nana's done cooking, okay? When Nana's done cooking, then you can have some more to eat, okay? And 1. Whoa. 2. 2. We're going to do 3. 3. And 1 more. 4. Good job. 4 eggs. 4 eggs, that's right. Do you want this little piece of broccoli right here? You can still have that. Alright. I have like a little spoon. Like, you see that? I just put a bit of water there. And I'm going to stir these up. I am going to just scramble them here. You can absolutely have another bowl and, get this all scrambled up in the bowl before you add it. I often don't bother. I just cook it right here. Now, at this point, you have a choice. Okay? At this point, you have a choice. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some pepper. Pepper! We like pepper! You do! Actually, wow, this pepper needs to get refilled. That's staying near empty. Now, for the eggs themselves, I'm adding something unseasoned. For the eggs themselves, it's another layer. I am going to do just a very light grind of salt. So your choice here is to stir the whole mass together while the eggs are really wet. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to so much get chunks of eggs like this as you will just sort of get it's more incorporated. You'll just kind of get like a yellowy mass kind of over everything. And honestly, it's what you prefer. It's what you prefer or what you happen to do. Like maybe you prefer it to wait and cook a little bit and then stir it all in more as chunky eggs. But you weren't paying attention, you stirred the whole thing. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's kind of like, Bob Ross, Happy Little Accidents. There are some things that can just ruin what you're doing. There's a lot of times where you can just compensate. Okay, it's too salty, let's do something else. And you guys ask me those questions a lot. Hey, what can I do? This is a problem. What can I do? I'm out of this. Very often, there's an option. You absolutely can. Fix it. Do something different. So now I like to leave it just a moment or two so it's mostly cooked and then stir the whole thing in. Baby, I'm still cooking. You need to wait until Nana's done. And you just incorporate the whole thing. You've got nice chunky eggs. If you're not big into eggs, you don't have to do 4. Pack and I really like eggs, and we tend to make it extra eggy. like I said, this started off as, hey, don't touch that. Did you see that light? Yeah, this is one of Grandma's things for working. Don't touch that. So, this started off with really no rice because we were out. We just had leftover some meat and veg. And I did that with eggs. And it was delicious. And then we had leftover rice another time. And I'm like, mm-hmm. In fact, we didn't even have Chinese food. We just, like I said, we just had leftover rice. And I added some veggies that we had on hand. And made us a nice stir-fried rice. So, there you go. Now, at this point, I'm going to tell you a secret. I derped up. Normally, while the eggs are sitting, I go around the edge with a bit, like one pass of each sesame oil and chili oil. But since I forgot, I'm going to do it now. These sesame and chili oil are not cooking oils. They burn at a much lower temperature, okay? Do you hear Papa? So they're more finishing oils. They're for flavor and they're to finish, okay? You don't want to put them in too early or it will burn, okay? And then that sesame oil and that chili oil, again, you don't have to have it, but it adds so much flavor. Is there a wild Papa here? I touched the camera several times.
I know.
Okay. Oh, smell that. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Heat is off. The heat is on. So. Honest to goodness, like I said, you can make this out of dang near anything. You know? Exactly, mix. They are for seasoning. They're for finishing. They're for extra flavor. They are certainly not. You wouldn't like pour a sesame or a chili oil down and then brown up your onions or whatever. Saute with. They're not for sauteing. They're not for browning because they will burn. Are we ever going to see a Pat cooking stream? Absolutely, you will. We've discussed it. He has talked about a couple of things that he would be fine to do, where he is the chef that's focused on. So, you want to grab? We have a plate.
They're not for cooking, huh? They're for eating.
They're not for cooking. They're for eating. Okay. So, you want to change me?
Change you to what?
The stove one. Yeah. Ta-da! Okay.
I wonder if it got steamy on the lens.
It probably did. Well, it's definitely getting steam on it right now. So, there you go. You can see how it's been fried. There's little bits that are a little extra crispy where it held still on that plate. Now we are going to sit down and share us a ginormous plate. Ta-da! Of freshly made fried rice. And there's still plenty to go around.
Okay, time to go kill?
Yes, you may go. Ooh. And Calypso has just attacked Pack. So, ta-da! We made really, really super easy. I'm going to start moving dishes over to the sink.
Super easy, 2 hours later.
Hey! It is not 2 hours unless you are, setting up stuff and taking care of babies. Yeah, so, hi Robin. How you doing, Kay? This is the second cooking stream. We did the first one on November 11th, and that was my birthday, my 48th birthday. And I was like, okay, I promised to get it sorted by my birthday. And we're like, okay, we've got it. And we did a test stream, and it turned out pretty good. So this is another one. We just did fried rice, and I'm going to get these up on YouTube. They're going to be edited onto a playlist on Twitch, too. So, feel free to take a look at them. And we're about to end. Pack is going to kill us. He went upstairs to end the stream. So I'm going to say goodnight and love your faces. Bye.